Welcome to Teen Care. In today's world, where the rhythm of life is becoming faster, the ability to effectively manage your time is becoming not just a desire, but the necessity. No matter who you are, knowing how to organize your time will help you achieve your goals and maintain a work-life balance. It's me, Zhanar, and let's go! Hello everyone, and welcome to Teen Care. Welcome to another episode. So, today we're talking about time management. So, perhaps important exams are ahead of you, or tedious university admission process, or maybe a job, and we all want to cope with everything, having time for everything. But sometimes, for some of us, even 24 hours is not really enough to complete our tasks. And here, a magical thing called time management comes to our aid. The whole world is literally screaming about this term. But why is it so beneficial? Is it even? So, the ability to manage your time effectively is important because good time management leads to improved efficiency and productivity, less stress, and just more success in life. And here are some benefits of managing time effectively. First of all, it's stress relief. Making and just following a task schedule reduce anxiety because as you check off items on your to-do list, you can see that you are making some tangible progress. And this helps you avoid feeling stressed out with worry about whether you're getting things done. Second thing is more time. Certainly, good time management gives you extra time to spend in your daily life. People who can time manage effectively enjoy having more time to spend on hobbies or just other personal pursuits. And the next is more opportunities. Managing time well leads to more opportunities and less time wasted on trivial activities. Good time management skills are actually key qualities that most employers look for. The ability to prioritize and schedule work is extremely desirable for any organization. Wherever you go, if you can manage your time very well, then you just, really respectful there. It's just a big advantage for you. And last but not least, ability to realize goals. Individuals who practice good time management are actually able to better achieve goals and objectives, and also do so in a shorter length of time. Okay, now when we're a little convinced that time management is something quite good, let's move on to some advice. So first of all, you should set goals correctly. Set goals that are achievable and measurable. So there is actually a method called SMART that stands for S, specific, M, measurable, A, attainable, R, relevant, and T, time-bound. Let me just quickly go through them so that you have an idea what I'm talking about. So S, specific. In order for a goal to be effective, it needs to be specific. So a specific goal answers questions like what needs to be accomplished, who is responsible for it, what steps need to be taken to achieve it. So thinking through these questions actually helps get to the heart of what you're aiming for. Let me just give an example. Let's say I want to improve my SAT score by identifying my weakness, repeating all the structures for each section, math, reading and writing, doing mock tests, and listening to and reading materials in English. Okay? So this is an example for a specific goal. So I am being specific. I know what I want to do, and I know what needs to be done. Next thing is M, measurable. So specificity is a solid start, but quantifying your goals, making sure they are measurable, makes it easier to track progress and know when you've reached the finish line. So again, here's an example. Let's just continue with the SAT thing. So let's say I want to improve my score from 1420 to 1510 in 2 months. And to do so, I need to write down all the types of question I struggle with the most, understand their structure, do, let's say, 3 mock tests each week, read one scientific article every morning, and listen to at least one podcast in English every day. So here I'm being measurable. So you know, I'm talking about the numbers. So it's now easier for me to track the progress. Next thing is achievable. This is the point in the process when you give yourself a serious reality check. Goals should be realistic, not pedestals from which you inevitably tumble. Ask yourself, is your objective something you can reasonably accomplish? So, for example, let's say the chances are not that high for me to get, my dream score over 1510 or 1550 in 2 months if my English level decreased to intermediate. Like, can you imagine that? It's clearly impossible. I know, like, there's nothing impossible. We love dreaming big, but if you don't want to hurt your own feelings and be disappointed, but instead want to truly achieve something, honey, you should take off your pink glasses and be realistic. This is all. This is what achievable means. Next is are relevant. Here's where you need to think about the big picture. So why are you setting the goal that you are setting? Again, some questions to make it clearer. Does this seem worthwhile? Is this the right time? Does this match my other efforts or needs? Is it applicable in the current, socioeconomic environment? Just an example, I would answer to these questions like this. I need good score in SAT to get into my dream university where I can get the best education and further work in a nice place, for example. And last but not least, time bound. Every goal needs a target date so that you have a deadline to focus on and something to work toward. This part of the SMART goal criteria helps to prevent everyday tasks from taking priority over your longer term goals. Again, some like a time bound goal will usually answer these questions. When? What can I do 6 months from now? What can I do 6 weeks from now? What can I do today? This is what time bound means. And that's all. This is all. This is the SMART method that you can use to set your goals correctly. And knowing how to set goals using the SMART framework can actually help you succeed in setting and attaining goals no matter how large or small. Alright, now let's move on to something called planning, because one of the key rules of time management is planning. So it's better to start your day by making a to-do list, because this will help you understand what needs to be done first and avoid just unnecessary stress. So first things first, plan everything ahead. Make sure you start every day with a clear idea of what you need to do, what needs to get done that day. Consider making it a habit to, at the end of each workday, go ahead and write out your to-do list for the next workday. That way you can hit the ground running the next morning. So next, one of the most important things about planning is prioritizing tasks based on importance and urgency. This is really important for time management. So, for example, you have your, daily tasks right now, right, in your mind, or it's better actually to write it. So now what you need to do is kind of determine and divide it by the importance and urgency. So first things first goes important and urgent ones. Do these tasks right away. Next goes important but not urgent. You need to decide when to do these tasks. Next goes urgent but not important. So you can delegate these tasks if possible. And the last is not urgent and not important. So you need to set this aside to do later. So I myself do this every day. Okay, I'm lying. I don't plan every day, but every time when I plan, I follow the structure, and trust me, when you try it, you'll be amazed because it does work. Trust me. The next thing that you should pay attention to when, planning your day, making your to-do list is to remove non-essential tasks or activities. It is essential to remove these excess activities uh, and tasks. Determine what is significant and what deserves your time, because we don't have endless time. So pay attention to that. Actually, removing these tasks frees up more of your time to be spent on genuinely important things. Another advice is avoid procrastination. Procrastination is the enemy of productivity. To combat it, try to perform the most unpleasant tasks at the beginning of the day. Yes, I know, but trust me, this will help free up your head for more enjoyable and creative tasks. So there's actually a technique called Eat That Frog. I love its name. So according to this method, you should start the day with the most difficult or unpleasant tasks. This reduces stress levels and makes other tasks easier. Now when we're done planning, making the list of to-do list, next thing, set a time limit to completed tasks. Actually, setting time constraints for completing tasks helps you be more focused and efficient. Making the small extra effort to decide on how much time you need for each task can also help you recognize potential problems before they arise. That way, you can make plans for dealing with them. So, here is an example. Let's say you need to write 5 reviews in time for a meeting. However, you realize that you'll only be able to get 4 of them done in the time remaining before the meeting. And look, if you become aware of this fact well in advance, you may be able to easily delegate writing up one of the reviews to someone else. And ta-da! You already prevented one problem. However, if you hadn't bothered to do a time check on your tasks beforehand, you might have ended up not realizing your time problem until just an hour before the meeting, as it usually happens. At that point, it might be considerably more difficult to find someone else to delegate one of the reviews to, and more difficult for them to fit the task into their day too. I know I'm talking a lot about productivity, being productive, and everything, but don't forget to take a break between tasks. When doing a lot of tasks without a break, it is harder to stay focused and motivated. So allow some downtime between tasks to clear your head and refresh yourself. Consider grabbing a brief nap. I said brief nap, not 4 or 6 hour nap. Going for a short walk or meditating. There's a Pomodoro method, I hope I pronounced it correct, that suggests breaking up work into 25-minute intervals with short breaks in between. After 4 such intervals, take a longer break. So this helps to maintain concentration and avoid fatigue. So I know we're working hard, but also don't forget about breaks also. And my last advice for today is organize yourself. I know it's so basic, everyone talks about it, but it is for a reason. So utilize your calendar for more long-term time management. Write down the deadlines for projects or for tasks that are part of completing the overall project. Think about which days might be best to dedicate to specific tasks. For example, you might need to plan, let's say, a meeting to discuss something on a day when you know the company is available. So, without organizing, all the things that I said is just, worthless. And last two things that I want you to remember. First of all, despite all your plans, life can make adjustments, so be prepared for the fact that not everything will go according to plan, as you expected, as you wanted to, and be able to adapt to changes. Flexibility is the key to successful time management. And next thing is work-life balance. Time management is not just about work. It is also important to find time for rest, hobbies, and just communication with your loved ones. So do not forget that the time to recuperate is no less important than productive work. And now we are getting to the conclusion. Effective time management is a skill that takes time and practice. So, honey, do not be upset if not everything works out at once. Over time, you will learn to manage your time better, which will bring you more satisfaction and success in life. That is all for today. Thank you so much for listening till the end. I really hope it was interesting and helpful for you. And don't forget to check out our social media and Telegram bot CZ if you need any kind of support. And remember, you're not alone. At least Team Care is always with you. Thank you. Bye bye.